Welcome to yet another Greek session. This is, I've gone through a little renumbering episode here, so we'll call this Greek 6, although the last one was also Greek 6. So for recording purposes, we'll call this the second time around. And this time of Greek session 6, we're meeting adjectives. Now, adjectives are awfully useful. Awfully useful. You never know when you might find a handy adjective. An adjective is the thing that tells us what kind, which one, how many. They're very, very useful for a wide variety of purposes. And the very good news that I have for you today is they are extremely similar to nouns in their formation. So if you found that your nouns are comfortable, that you're able to work with the nouns, you'll find that the adjectives are pretty easy, and this lesson will give you a chance to review some. Watch for gender, number, and case, the three critical elements of adjectives. And please remember my full courses at potterschool.org, at ALTS.edu, and always something good happening over at Wittenberg Door Campus Ministries, wittenbergcomo.com. All right, let's look at a paradigm. Paradigm, by the way, does not mean 20 cents. It just means something that is an example. And here is an example of a Greek adjective. Many, many adjectives follow the first and second declensions. The feminine forms are first declension. Let's notice that. Feminine. See the a, ace, ain. See the feminine plural, I, own, ice, os. The masculine and neuter forms, however, follow the second declension. See the os, o, on, and the oi, own, ois, us. You already know those endings. How about the neuter? Second declension. See the on, o, on, and the plural, a, own, ois, a. Now some grammar books will make a big deal about it. They'll say, always memorize side to side like that. Agathos, agathe, agathon. Agathu, agathes, agathu. I have found that useful in one and only one situation, and that is if you try to recite a paradigm along with a bunch of other people trying to recite a paradigm. You know, you learn the nouns up and down. Learn the adjectives up and down too. It won't hurt you. It will not hurt you. Again, notice the feminine follows the first declension, and the masculine and neuter follow the second declension. Notice the eta in the singular feminine goes all the way down. Some adjectives in the first and second declension have a slightly different formation. Notice if they have a rho or a vowel before the ending, they're going in the feminine to have an alpha all the way down in the singular. That's the difference. That is, in fact, the difference there. So, some will have an eta all the way down in the feminine singular, like agathe. Some will have an alpha down in the feminine singular, like mikra. And if the nominative singular feminine has the alpha, it'll keep the alpha. If it's got the eta, it'll keep the eta. Let's meet another adjective. This is the adjective. The adjective you will see a lot. The. It's the definite article, that's what we call it. And it's the. I don't know why some people distinguish between the article adjective and other adjectives. They're all adjectives. They are. And it declines according to the first and second declension as well. So remember learning ha logos to logu, or I don't know what noun we used as a sample, he adelphe, tes adelphes. I'm sure that wasn't it. Ta teknon, tu teknu. You see, you learn the nominative and genitive singular to learn the gender, and that definite article will show you the gender. Notice the endings on these articles are just the same as the other adjectives. Some of the forms have a T at the beginning. Most of the nominative forms do not. All right, so there is your definite article. You can say the. Now something you should be aware of is that Greek doesn't have an indefinite article, so it never says a something. If it's saying an apple or a banana, it'll just have the apple word or the banana word without an article. But if it says the apple or the banana, it will have the definite article before the word. So no article, figure it's a something. Has an article, figure it's the something. Now an adjective has to get along with its noun. How are you going to know which noun the adjective goes with? So the adjective is going to agree with its noun in gender, number, and case, but not necessarily in ending. I should be able to wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, shake you out of a sound sleep, and ask you how an adjective agrees, and you should be able to mumble that it agrees with its noun in gender, number, and case, but not necessarily in ending, and then tell me to get lost because you value your sleep, and that's fine. Be sure, as you're working with nouns, to identify them by gender, number, case, function, and don't only watch word order or assume that the same function will have the same ending. Make sure that they agree in gender, number, and case, but not necessarily in ending. Now adjectives can be used in 3 basic ways. Way number 1 is an attributive adjective. An attributive adjective shows an attribute. That's not surprising. For instance, if we say the blue cat, we would put an attributive adjective, blue, in that. In Greek, the attributive adjective will have an article right before the adjective. So we might say something like ha agathos anthropos. Ha agathos anthropos. The good man. We put the article right before the adjective agathos. Now the article may also be repeated if the noun is not right after the adjective. So you could say the good, the man, ha agathos, ha anthropos, and it still means the good man. We can use a predicate adjective, and a predicate adjective assumes the verb of being. The cat is blue would use an attributive adjective. So would the man is good. In Greek, the adjective is, let me spell that correctly, the adjective is in the attributive position. I'm sorry, I should also have said this uses a predicate. See, this is going to make sure you know the difference between a predicate and an attributive adjective. Amazing what happens when you think you know what it says when you are proofreading. All right, that looks much better. So the cat is blue will use a predicate, not attributive, adjective. And in Greek it's in the predicate, not attributive, position if the article is not right before the adjective. So, the man is good. Agathos ha anthropos. Good, the man. Or ha anthropos agathos. The man, good. Instead of having it in the attributive position with the article right before the adjective, we had the article not right before the adjective. And what we do is we assume is. Agathos ha anthropos. The man is good. Ha anthropos agathos. The man is good. Those are the two ways we can do that. All right, let's look at the last use of an adjective. This is called a substantive adjective, and this is where the adjective takes the place of a noun. It has an article with it, but does not have a noun. So we can talk about the blessed man, the good one, the tall, the short, the poor. And all we do is we use the adjective just as if it's a noun, with an article and all. Well, those are some things we can do with adjectives. Very, very useful words. Hope you keep with it and learn a lot of Greek. We'll see you next time.